And welcome back to Corsace Closed. It is now the conclusion of the quarterfinals weekend as the final match has been played between Zudinator and Nineric, which means it is time to get into the semifinals Mappool showcase. I am Miles, your Mappooler commentator guy, and I'm going to be giving you this Mappool showcase all alone today. So let's get right on into it. We've got our Nomad 1, Sky of Twilight, mapped by Sundere Sam. This is where we're really going to start to see some scaling start to occur. First two rounds were meant to be more accessible for most players, but now we're really going to start to specialize on a lot of skill sets. Now, I'd like to say this map was a bit of a last-minute addition. We were really struggling to find Nomad 1 that was super consistent, I guess is the word. So we found a map that is basically just glorified aim training and loved, and the song is good, so enjoy. Yeah, first map is 5 minutes. Don't worry, the Nomad pool, which is usually very long, is actually not that long when compared to this map. We've got a 5 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute, so overall, not necessarily the longest Nomad pool, but Nomad 1 is going to be long, which, you know, when we're emphasizing aim consistency, that might be fine. Yeah, this map, it contrasts pretty well with last week's Nomad 1, which was a lot of awkward aim from Evil Elvis. This one is going to be very comfortable aim. Basically just 1-2 jumps and triangles for most of the map. So I know last week I was bantering with Dio about how I was going to try to avoid using maps like this, but ended up being what we really needed for this pool, so gonna be what we get. While this map is very long and very difficult, I think it is also a little bit skewed in how difficulty is tested on this one, where it's very comfortable, like very, very comfortable, and then the ending just gets really absurd. So there's a chance we could see this really come down to like the last Ki sort of deal. Oh yeah, replay by Rectigon. But yeah, I think this map is one of the easiest in the pool just off the virtue of it being like as comfortable as it is. Like these, don't get me wrong, these jumps are really spaced, but like with how comfortable it is, anyone who has farmed like HDDT aim in the past or is like considers themselves a good aim player is gonna be able to probably FC this one until the end. Yeah, a little bit of optics about this map pool. So the first two pools were balanced around being 7.6 star and then 7.8 star. This one, the target SR is 8, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be sticking there because people have been really doing well on the map pool so far, apart from a few outliers in difficulty, of course. So certain skill sets are scaled up a lot higher. For example, aim is one of them, although I don't think this map is really like going to be that hard for our players, but it is 8.3 stars. And then obviously speed is going to be up there in star rating. We've got a lot higher than 8 stars actually on some of the speed picks in this pool. So overall it bounces out to be around 8 stars, but that's mostly because like mechanics skill sets are going to be like 0.3 to 0.4 above, or more like 0.25 to 0.4 stars above 8. And then you see the same thing for some more tech-oriented skill sets, and then don't worry, I'm not throwing any 7-star rating maps at you. That shit is impossible. But yeah, this is a bit of a content pick because Obviously the goal with this is to see 2 people FC until the impossible end jumps, and then see if it all comes down to that. But definitely not gonna be something that we see non-aim players opt into. I think this is the type of map in a map pooling context that, like, I don't know if we're gonna see anyone really ban this, but, like, at the same time, I'm not sure who's gonna really want to pick this because of how long and comfortable it is. Like, just one ship miss in the first half, and you could be completely doomed on this map, so just something to keep in mind. But don't worry, there are other aim maps in the pool for any aim players who maybe don't like the 5.5 minutes on this one. Oh yeah, here's the jumps, by the way. These are the jumps that everyone will maybe miss on. Okay, for some reason my message isn't being sent in chat because I saw a question. But we start pools months in advance, but we finalize literally until the last second. Okay, Nomad 2. Another bit of a content pick is something that has gotten its fair amount of use in tournaments, but gonna be bringing it back for more content. Easy Breezy, mapped by C-Mob. This one is really trying to be more of a flow aim pick than a stamina pick, as that is mostly what's being tested in this. But there's also a fair amount of finger control, actually, especially in this part, where you see a bunch of doubles and, oh yeah, the Discord slider. Don't forget about that. Oh yeah, Score V1 replay, by the way, from Dench. Yeah, this map was in MGC prior to this. Map clocking in at 8.26 stars, 210 BPM, mostly based on the flow aim. But there could be some stamina aspect, I think mostly tied to the finger control in the first half. But I don't think that's going to be the point of contention on this map. It should mostly be the flow aim. Oh yeah, then. Try not to break on the Discord sliders. I don't think there's any slider ticks in there. You just need to hit the slider head, but it is pretty much a guaranteed 100, unfortunately. I'll be honest though about this pool, I think it really gets a lot spicier in the second half of this pool, where the Nomad pool is pretty stock standard, I think, when it comes to slots especially. Like, pool is very conventional outside of maybe the second half where the content gets a lot bigger. And I'll also explain some of our distribution of skill sets because I think that's a little bit wacky in this pool. Like, for example, last week we had 2 very well-rounded tech picks, but this week the tech picks are going to be very skewed, as in some maps being very heavy in some skill sets and others being very heavy in others. But that's a conversation for later, as we are going to Nomad 3. We have Machudal? There was a team that named themselves this song in Corsace Open last year, and I just called them Machudal, so I'm going to say that. So, this map meant to be a very awkward flow aim check on alt with also a lot of reading involved. Don't forget that. This map is very high emphasis on reading as well. And that is what was taken into account for in this pool's balancing, actually. Because we do have a little bit of a lack of lower approach rate stuff in this pool, so we wanted to make more outside maps have a little bit of a reading aspect. But yeah, this is also some pretty good content, in my opinion. Another very popular map with a lot of uptime. This map really throws everything at you all at once. Although this is probably the hardest part right here with these zigzags. Your aim has to be at point. And we stole a White Cat Scorby 1 replay for this. This map contrasts pretty well with Deconstruction Star in that Deconstruction Star are a lot longer, more consistent, while this one takes the difficult aspect of some of the linear patterns on that and just cranks it up to 100 while removing all of the bursts. So this map is going to be a lot more focused on just being able to chain together one big combo in it rather than, you know, the consistency aspect of Deconstruction Star. But yeah, this map is brutal. This map is so brutal. But it's a quick one of the shortest maps in the Nomad pool, 1.5 minutes. And now on to Nomad 4. This is where my comment about skewed tech skill sets comes into effect. This is quite honestly, like, if you've ever heard a tech map be described as like Avalon, where it's just mostly very large sliders, only slider aim, this is that map. You've got Ritual of Anubis, True Trial, mapped by Azrulk. This map is brutal slider aim. Completely brutal. Ain't nobody is gonna pick this if they aren't good at slider aim. This is like the slider aim pick of all time. This song is also kind of crazy. I've heard very different opinions on this style of music. Like, this is something that I would rave to. I don't know how many rave people are in chat, but like, if this played, I'd be bouncing. I'd be bouncing. But yeah, anyone looking for some more like flow aim, control-based tech, we've got that elsewhere in the pool, mostly in, actually in Nomad 6, as well as the Hidden and Hard Rock pools. So this amount of slider aim is meant to take up most of that stock in the pool. But yeah, accuracy on this is going to be really hard because of the slider ends. When sliders get this big, it's only going to be maybe the best slider players in the tournament being able to hit them, looking at players like Forum and Malashevsky. Yeah, this is a certified slapper, in my opinion. We saw the tech map in Nomad last week be one of the most popular picks. Not sure about this one. I think it's a little more polarizing, but still a very clean map. Another replay from Rectigon. Yeah, more sliders. You get sanity checked a little bit by those repeat sliders, so you can't really just only aim for the slider heads. Now into this final section. Got a lot of more slider aim. I'm trying to comment on other parts of this map, but it's really like slider aim and then more slider aim and then more slider aim with like sanity checks in the repeat sliders and then like a few streams, but you're not really going to be missing a lot on those, in my opinion. But yeah, that map, pretty long, 3.5 minutes of brutal slider aim. One of the hardest maps in the pool, in my opinion. And now on to Nomad 5. So you wanted a harder Nomad 5? Here you freaking go. The biggest problem with last week's pool was not in the skill sets that Nomad 5 was testing, but more in the fact that DT2 was just infinitely harder than it. So everyone was always banning DT2, and then everyone was trying to cheese Nomad 5. But you're not cheesing this map. You are definitely not cheesing this map. You might be able to FC the first half, but then once the bursts come in, you are fucked. You are dead. But yeah, this map is a shotgun, honestly. Minute 38 seconds. Lots of aim, but also you have these bursts. These bursts, 259 BPM. Lots of flow aim involved as well. But don't worry, there will be more finger control and other aspects of the speed skill set tested in the DT pool. We can't just have every DT map be finger control and stamina. This one is just like, I would just call it, honestly, like 259 BPM consistency with a few long bursts that will probably determine the outcome of the map, because you are not double tapping through those bursts. And if someone does manage to double tap through those bursts and they beat you because of it, then, I don't know. Forum is just something else. I don't know. Okay, now, Nomad 6, custom alert, guys. We have, pardon my French. I don't even think I'm gonna try, actually, but I will. Qui mange des pushy pastel? No, that was horrible. Don't clip me. Don't clip me. I suck at, I only speak English. Apologies. But it's mapped by local hero, and this is where the reading comes in. But yeah, this map is a bit of a mishmash between reading and some tech elements as well. You have some slider tech mixed in there. This song is typically seen mapped as a Nomad 4. I think a lot more people are familiar with the Arushi map of this song. But yeah, this map is, I've been using this word a lot this stream. This map is brutal. This map is brutal. Yeah, Azer isn't here this time to correct me. I remember when Tataton is how you pronounce it, was in OWC, and I said Tartatatin on that Mappool showcase, and Azer, like, brought the death hammer on me. But yeah, nobody's here to bring the hammer down on me this time. So enjoy my very American, horrible French. But yeah, this, you can't really pigeonhole this map into any skill set. It is reading, tech, shit tons of flow aim, as you can see here, but it's just hard. It's hard. This map throws a lot of different things at you, but if I were to try to pigeonhole it at all, it's like aim control, reading, some slider tech, I guess. Yeah, AR9 reading. Another replay from Rectigon. But yeah, despite being AR9, this map filled a lot of the reading that we were willing to put in the pool. So the Hidden 2 is going to be a lot more aim-oriented. Yeah, this map I think is very polarizing in a Mappool sense, where I think anyone who typically goes to Gimmick as their ban is gonna look at a map like this and probably ban it out with their first ban. But there's gonna be a few key matchups where might leave it open. I believe Forum might be facing Enry this week. Could see that left open there. Depends on what Enry thinks. There's a lot of pool left, but obviously he's the player to watch on this. But that's going to do it for the Nomad pool. On to Hidden 1. We've got Chaoseer, mapped by Fanzen. We've got all of your mech tech needs right here. It's Forum and NCY. Okay, I'm trolling. My apologies. So Forum, MCY. I mean, I'm not sure. MCY, not sure about how he feels on maps like that, but obviously, you have to look at Forum on that map. But yeah, this is, yeah, as I said, mech tech. There's one big aim section in the middle of this. But yeah, this map is, like, very unconventional aim. You see these really awkward linear jumps. mixed in with some of these awkward cut tech streams as well. Definitely very much more on the gimmicky side of your hidden ones. More so than, I think, something like last week where it was just same, or even 2 weeks ago when it was mostly mechanics. This one throws a lot of reading at you too. But mech tech, yeah. I think it's mostly something where you have to put in a couple runs of practice to get comfortable on the patterns. And here is the jumps! These are the jumps. Jumps, guys. Jumps, jumps. God mode. Chillier pair hit them. Good job, Chillier. Our great replayer. And yeah, if you can manage to get through those jumps, you have these space triples here that can trick you up. And then you have the ending with some long sliders to inflate our star rating a little bit. This map is 8.02 stars, by the way, so very close to our average. But yeah, that's going to be the quick hidden one on the shorter side. And now hidden 2. If you wanted a more comfortable aim map, congrats. You know, last week we had Nomad 2 be our AR8. Now we have Nomad 1 in our AR8. This is just aim. It is aim. It is very long and it is very aim. This is 3 minutes long and 10 seconds. Got the banger effect coming in. Levitating by Dua Lipa. Map by Xarius. Legendary American player and mapper. I have to keep talking to make sure our VOD doesn't get muted because this is very copyrighted. But yeah, this is honestly, in a way, you could see that the aim is similar to the other Xarius map we had in a round of 16 with some of those pentagons? Pentagons or hexagons? I didn't see if those were 5 or 6 sides, but still, if you missed those very geometric jumps, then you get them back here in the AR8. This map contrasting with the Nomad 6, which is more on the gimmicky side of reading. This one is just reading aim. Should not take too much practice to find out if you're going to be comfortable on this or not. Just really hell on the pattern aim. But yeah, Xarius fueling our Western music in the 2 rounds of the tournament where we pulled him. Kanye West all of the lights into Dua Lipa levitating. Although I'm not sure how many copyright issues we had with all of the lights, but hopefully we get lucky again with levitating. But yeah, the VODs have no music anyway, so we're fine. I always forget about that aspect of Corsace. But yeah, definitely not beating the content pooling allegations. That's whatever. Yeah, map is fairly consistent, except it does ramp up here at the end. These jumps get really spaced and these sliders get really long. I mean, I feel like I'd be a broken record at this point if I were to talk about how lots of maps in these map pools get a lot harder at the end, a little bit of difficulty spike. But you know, difficulty spikes, they aren't as bad if they're at the end of the map, because then it's like, it's not like you get free combo after it or anything. It's just, here's the hardest part. If you hit it, you get a big boost to your score. If you don't, well, that sucks, sorry. Okay, hidden 3. Got a much nicer map that I believe is being pushed towards ranked. We have Tatakai, mapped by Sekiri. This map is mostly some finger control and aim control. More of an alt map as well. But also with some slider aim as well mixed in there, so... I'd say if you were to find things to, I guess, compare this to elsewhere in the map pool, it's probably Nomad 3 and Nomad 6 as well. It's honestly like if you took Nomad 3 and combined it with Nomad 6, that's what you get here. It's an alt map with finger control, a little bit of a reading element, similar to last week's in that there's a lot of these like stop and go patterns, lots of awkward rhythm changes. Another chillier pair replay. We force this guy to play hidden. Yes, MP3 is a little bit quiet, but the song is a banger, so hopefully our streamers remember to raise the volume a little bit of this on stream once we get it. I see a question in chat. Is there a hidden 4 this round? No. We aren't getting there until finals. So we are remaining with the same pool format until then. One thing for next year, I will say, is that next year I think we need to expand the pool a little bit earlier, specifically with DT4. I think we need DT4 to come a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, we're not getting any 4s until finals. Oh yeah, by the way, that gets really hard at the end. Once again, another diff spike at the end, don't mind us. But that's going to be the hidden pool. On to Hard Rock 1. Like the Gale. This map just kind of exists, honestly. This map's like, it's an aim map, but also not. Like, there's a lot of aim, especially in the flow aim category, but it's mixed with some finger control, mixed with a little bit of slider aim as well. But I feel like skill set wise, like, I don't really know what to say about this map, because it's like, there's already a lot of comfy aim in the pool, there's a lot of awkward aim in the pool already, so it's just like, this map, it's a lot of flow aim, but also a lot of more traditional aim. It's not like Nomad 2 levels of, or it's like there's too much other aim to be a Nomad 2. It's just really a all-around consistency test with a lot of streams. But yeah, on Hard Rock, this becomes very difficult. Like, look at some of those cuts, oh my god. But yeah, Like the Gale. This is a song from Umineko. For any of my fellow Umineko standers in the chat, we can rejoice. Yeah, 7.93 stars, CS 5.5. Yeah, look at some of those. Yeah, this map is just, this map is here, okay? But don't worry, once again, this map is, I think, similar to Hidden 1, where it's like, Hidden 1 is not necessarily an aim-focused map, it just has aim in it, but it's balanced out by Hidden 2 being just like all aim. We have the same thing in this pool. Hard Rock 2, if you're missing your aim in your Hard Rock 1 slot, don't freaking worry. Next map is like only aim, so that's how our balancing works. It's like I was sitting here thinking like, oh my god, this map is like all streams. This map, oh, it's gonna fuck up the balancing, whatever. Yeah, Hard Rock 2. Here we go. Crazy backup dancers. CS 7.8. Toho. It is just aim. This map is only aim. You are not gonna be caught out by anything else in this. This map is lots of these expanding in their spacing linear jumps. Replay from Rectigon. Map by Mr. Consumer of Bean. Guy is very good at Toho. This map, I think, is tailor-made for a few specific precision players in this tournament. I think Zudi had a really bad time with this week's Hard Rock 2. But this one being mostly aim, it is going to be certified stand full area kind of movement on this one. Just all aim, all the way. But this map, I think, is a little bit harder than it looks. And, you know, you can attribute a lot of that to the CS 7.8. This is Osu for Ants material. But also, it's just like keeping your aim consistent for the whole duration of this map, where it doesn't really give you too much of a break to really readjust your pen grip or your mouse grip. Like, this is just going to be a really brutal pick, I think, to be super consistent on. But the accuracy on this is going to be a lot easier than last week, where, like, most of the act drops on this map are going to be attributed to miss aims, where, you know, you drop act when you miss a pattern, you miss aim a little triple or a burst, you get a few hundreds there. But I think it's really good for this pool. Like, it adds a lot of aim strain where, you know, some more aims where the aim strain is maybe lacking a bit in the Hard Rock 1. It really actually just fulfills the similar role to the Hidden 2. But yeah, that was a crazy replay from Rectagon, but here's Hard Rock 3. Now, this map, it moved around a lot in this tournament. We have Darling Dance, mapped by Gazimal. Reading Hard Rock, question mark? Yeah, kind of. It's some finger control, awkward aim control, alt. This map was originally going to be Hidden 3 in round of 16, but it was just way too hard for that. So I just moved it up to semis in Hard Rock, and it kind of just stuck. But yeah, this map it fulfills some weird requirements in this pool, where there's like a lot of direct finger control with the aim control, and also just very awkward rhythms that you might have to learn. It's a lot less straightforward than last week's HR3, although both are alt maps. But one problem that I will admit that this pool does have is that a lot of the alt is all, like, with reading as a secondary skill set. Like, between Nomad 3, this map, and Hidden 3, all of them are fairly unconventional. All have, or all as in, I mean, at least 2 out of 3, Hidden 3 and Hard Rock 3, all with some degree of finger control, leads to a lot of skill set overlap. Oh yeah, and you have this part. This part is freaking brutal. That might be one of the most difficult parts of this map, if it not the most difficult part. But this map is an ultra banger, and I very much like it, and I hope it does get some usage this week. And, you know, as much as reading is involved in this map, it's Hard Rock, so it's AR10. So people are going to be comfortable reading the AR, it's just getting used to the patterning of the map. So definitely expect to see this map get some usage. Hopefully a little bit more usage than last week's Hard Rock 3. But yeah, if Forum F sees this, I will be astounded. And I mean, I know that guy has already put up arguably the best score of the tournament so far on Deconstruction Star last week. But yeah, I did mention that the pool gets a lot more interesting in the second half. This is one of the maps I was referencing. This map is super interesting to play, also very fun for any alt map enjoyers in the chat. If you can get through the finger control in this, I would definitely add this to whatever collections you have. I'm a massive fan of this map, at least. Maybe not on the Hidden, but on the Nomad, this is in my warm-up collection, actually. But yeah, next map is the content pick of the pool. This is the content pick, and we are not beating the Toho allegations. We are not beating the goddamn Toho allegations. Let's get on into it. Kcho No Mattin, mapped by Captain 1. Yeah, this is Qualifiers DT1, but more epic. Yeah. One of the iconic maps of all time in the DT pool. This map is, I think, a little bit more tapping focused than some of our previous DT1s, especially last week's. Yuki no Yoni was a lot of aim. This one also has aim with a lot of finger control strain as well. I'd say this is really just a speed player's map, if I were to say. Like, this map is gonna be pretty inaccessible, I think, to, like, people who use DT1 as more of a flex pick. But yeah, not quite Sentimental Skyscraper. I know a player in our tournament is somehow, some way close to DTF seeing Sentimental Skyscraper, and that is just, like, the most insane shit to me. Like, that map would be a tiebreaker, like, in a top-tier tournament, not even, like, 6 years ago. Like, Sentimental Skyscraper would be, like, a late-stage map in 2018, and now someone is DTing it. Like, I thought we were cool doing that with Puppet in the Dark in OWC last year. Like, oh my god, in 2016 in my 4-digit tournament, I was playing that as a tiebreaker in round of 16 or whatever. But yeah, no, like, now we're seriously DTing stuff that is beyond my wildest dreams. And honestly, this kind of fits that as well. Like, this is definitely easier than Sentimental Skyscraper, but it's not that this map is, like, not super insane. Throws a lot of aim patterns at you, lots of finger control, some longer bursts as well. And you know, that kind of goes to supplement the tapping pool. Without having a DT4, we don't really have that much speed in the pool. We only can use, you know, Nomad 5, DT2. So inject a little bit of tapping in DT1 does a little bit of good things to our balancing, I think. Three out of 10 map pool, no Tsukinami plus homophobic. Well, gee, I'm sorry, Zoodinator. Like, by the way, Zoodinator, MREC in losers, semis, round 1 is... that's just not okay. Y'all messed up tanking your seeding. But yeah, this map, this is a bit of a personal pick. Like, both me and Aiden, like, both loved this map. Like, this is, like, me looking back at, like, joining this game in 2015. Like, I saw this map played. This was, like, one of the iconic maps of the time. Now in the DT pool, makes me really happy. I hope this map gets picked in every single match. And if you FC this in the match, I'll buy you Starbucks or something. I don't know. Yeah, replay from Flamesteer, 400k. Flamesteer stepped it up this week. I have to thank him. Okay, now, more content. More. Don't stop and do not stop. We keep rolling. Keep rolling the content. Mr. Kill Myself DT. This is the finger control. Finger control, CS5. Lots of funny shaped bursts as well in this map. Map by Matrix, AR 10.3, OD 10.4. This is just the finger control map. And, you know, hoping, fingers crossed, that this is not permabanned like last week's DT2, because we made Nomad 5 harder this week. So maybe someone will look at that and be like, hey, maybe I want to ban that and leave Mr. Kill Myself open. Please let this map get played, for God's sake. Oh yeah, one thing about this map pool. We broke some norms in that the DT pool is long as hell this week. DT1 is like 7 minutes without DT. This is also like 7 minutes without DT. And DT3 is also long as well, so... But we supplemented that by having a lot of shorter maps earlier in the pool. Yeah, by the way, in chat, I believe Crimsonic Dimension got picked once in MCY4's match. Okay, it's not that nobody wants to play these maps. It's that it's just a hard thing about map pool balancing. Like, when someone has a speed advantage, the other player will always ban it. Like, there's just nothing you can do about it. Like, you can't tell a non-speed player not to ban, or a non-speed player to not ban speed, or like a non-gimmick player to not ban gimmick. That's just the way the world works. But we put cool maps in these slots to hope that somebody picks them. This is another thing that I would definitely rave to. So the Corsace rave playlist of this pool is Nomad 4 and DT2. Another replay from Rectigon. 798k on this would be an insane score to see in match. Definitely have the repertoire of players in this tournament to be able to maybe get an FC on this in match. That would be absolutely insane. Yeah, this is such a banger. I've got this in a couple of my personal playlists. But yeah, now you get to the ending of this map where the flow aim starts to pick up even more. Lots of these bursts require some very precise aim. Like you can see those short little hexagon streams or pentagons. I saw 5 circles there. Whatever. I'm not having this again. But yeah, this is just stamina, finger control, everything. Stamina maybe not as brutal as last week's, but it's made up for in spades with the finger control and the flow aim as well. So our stamina is a little bit more well spread out across the pool this week, rather than just having infinite stamina in the DT2 and like not much stamina anywhere else except maybe Nomad 2, even though those streams weren't that long. So any stamina players, even if that gets banned, you've got more to pick from. Okay, now DT3. We are definitely not beating the Toho allegations, even though I didn't even know this was Toho. You have to look at the map metadata to find out this is Toho, so just pretend it isn't if you're mad at that. But yeah, 444 BPM ult, baby. This comes from like the same vein of map that of like with a dance number, I guess, like some of the old Val ult maps. This is Jiu and Osanka, a collab between RLC and NyQuil, so 2 very old mappers. This diff was this map was made in, I believe, 2013 or 2014 before being picked up by Selena a couple of years ago to be ranked. But yeah, this map is Relentless. I'm not gonna say brutal again. This is Relentless. It is 3 minutes of 444 BPM ult. And by the way, some of those sliders have slider ticks. I think not all of them do, but between the old version and the ranked one, they made some of the slider ticks less. I don't remember the word for that. It's the type of map where there isn't one pattern that you really see as a difficulty spike, I think. It's just 3 minutes of Relentless patterning where you could really find a break on like everything if you just have a little lapse in focus. No, there's a specific word for what I'm saying. It's about the sliders. Like, there's a word for amount of slider ticks that, like, is in the editor. I just don't remember the word. It's the tick rate. Tick rate. I'm stupid. They lowered the tick rate. That's what it is. This map, not too popular for the DT players. There's a few good DT scores on it that approach 1K combo, but haven't seen too much usage on it. I'm hoping that some of the players in this tournament see this map and decide to go for a DTFC on this, because this is one of my favorite songs in the game, and I'm very happy that I was able to pull it here. But yeah, sliders are definitely the hardest part of this map. If this map were just continuous circles, it would not be nearly as hard. But the sliders add a lot of finger control and even an aim control element to it, because on some of these repeat sliders where they aren't necessarily close enough for you to keep your cursor in the same spot, you do have to go aim for the slider end to get the repeat arrow. 367k score from Rectigon on this replay. If that doesn't tell you how hard this is, then I don't know what will. But yeah, I guess some of the rationale behind this was also comparing it to the other alt maps. A lot of the other alt maps are very, very reading focused. This one is a little bit more conventional in the aim. But, you know, you could make the argument of this being a reading pick as well if you consider 10.3 reading something that you describe as reading, at least in terms of map pool balancing, but obviously you put that with a different kind of map. Okay, now we've been talking so much about Rectigon replays. How about we go over to Tiebreaker? We've got a map by the man himself, Panic Attack by Dream Theater, mapped by Rectigon. I believe this was a custom map for his tournament called Rust, which was a US top player 1v1 tournament. Meant to be as kind of a OWC kind of prep tournament that he hosted. Yeah, timing. Real Dream Theater timing. So yeah, this map is going to be the conclusion of the semifinals map pool. I guess I'll take this moment to do a bit of reflection on the pool as we let this map play out. Dream Theater, Panic Attack by Rectigon, CS 4.2, OD 9.8, AR 10, 8.34 stars, base 252 BPM. As per most of the other tiebreakers in this tournament, this is a map that just really throws everything at you. Obviously, lots of emphasis on some of these awkward rhythms, as it is a Dream Theater song. But within those awkward rhythms, there are also very difficult aim patterns, along with some slider aim as well mixed in there. But yeah, for this map pool, definitely a lot more awkward in the way that we balanced it. Like, I guess I'll just go over every single balancing point I said in this. It's like, when it comes to tech is distributed really weirdly, where we have just infinite amounts of slider aim in Nomad 4. And that makes most of the other tech picks in the pool not very slider aim heavy. If you look at things like, you know, Nomad 6, the Hidden 3, the Hard Rock 3, all gonna be not necessarily slider aim focus at all. And then the reading as well is distributed weird, because Nomad 6 is also a reading map. So we had Hidden 2 being mostly aim, not too much raw reading at all, except maybe pattern reading, but it's a bit different. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, when you get to this star rating, it's really hard to pigeonhole maps into skill sets. So the truth is, all these maps are really freaking hard. We try to balance them in terms of skill sets and difficulty, but can only do so much. And once again, I'd like to apologize to the players for some of our balancing difficulties last week, specifically with the Nomad 5 and the DT2, and then also a little bit with the reading maps. Those specialty skill sets are pretty hard to balance, but we try our best, and, you know, we're still able to get good matches out of it. So we hope that the players are able to tolerate my map pooling for another few weeks, as we really do try our best. Raw reading, is that like the chimp test? I don't freaking know. You're probably a lot better at explaining the deep intricacies of that skill set than I am, GN. Is Touhou a skill set? If Touhou is a skill set, I'll balance that more than I can balance reading or speed any day. Oh my god. It's like we've been grabbing some more test players on the team, trying to get some more feedback from them, trying to get most of the pool done by Wednesday so we could have a good 2 days for test players to rip into us. Touhou reading is raw. What if we just, like, we replace the hidden 2 slot with books? We get books from Touhou 6 and we force the players to play books until they capture it, but that's not gonna happen. If I were running this tournament, we would have Touhou, but too bad we're an Osu production, so cannot be doing that. But yeah, otherwise, I think the quarterfinals weekend, we had a lot of intense matches. I think headliner obviously being MREC versus Forum in one of the classic matches of this tournament's history, of course. And, you know, I'm hoping that the players can continue to give us some insane matches going forward. Semifinals weekend is where we really start to see people get eliminated. We now have potential matches in the losers bracket, by the way. So everyone in losers is going to have to play 2 matches in order to get through. Maybe perhaps we will see Panic Attack get played. We only got to see one TB this weekend between MREC and Forum, but that was the first tiebreaker of the tournament. Perhaps this pool, a little less polarizing than the last one, could see some of the matches go the distance. You know, we originally were going to have Rectagon map a custom tiebreaker for this tournament, and we were going to tell him to just make the sequel to this, but we ended up just slotting this one in instead, because this tiebreaker doesn't see too much usage. I mean, it's very hard, 8.3 stars. Not too many tournaments making it up to this star rating means we need to take advantage of the good ones that we have. Maybe I'll take a second to look at the bracket, see any matches that I can predict will go to this tiebreaker. You know, with how MCY has been playing, can't rule out him maybe taking Forum the tiebreaker. Otherwise, we've got a lot of matches to look out for next weekend. I'll just read out all of them as we are going to be concluding this Mappool showcase. In the winners bracket semifinals, we've got Malashevsky up against Enri, and then Forum versus MCY4. So we've got the top 4 seeds all retaining their positions in the winners bracket. And now losers round 2, we've got Decaton and Intercamping. That is another match that I would keep an eye out for, maybe going the distance. MREC versus Zudinator will be the other match in that block, which will create a potential. And then the next block of matches in losers, we've got Flying Tuna versus Taquito, and then Kriller up against Chaconi in the other block. which will create a potential as well. And then after that, definitely check out our sponsor, Momokai. Has been very loyal to Corsace throughout the years with their Corsace Tap Trio product. I'm not sure if that's still listed, but if it is, be sure to check them out, ! Momokai, and also check out the Corsace Closed manga that was created by some of our artists. It's a very good read. If you have a little bit of spare time, check out the manga, ! Manga. But then, until then, I've been Miles. Thank you all for tuning in to the Mappool Showcase, and I hope to see you all next weekend for the semi-final stage of Corsace Closed 2024.